Ask me a question. 9-1 and 23.
9-1-23.
For you.
And where were you? Where did they live when you were born?
Point Pleasant.
You were probably born at the house.
You what?
You're probably born at the house. The house where they lived in
Is this your water, huh?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Well, I won't get it.
Okay, we've got your address, and you are currently retired.
Right.
I guess that's the lid on that.
Retired until you think of something else to do. Is that the deal?
No, I'm officially retired. I'm not going to open any more offices or anything like that.
Okay.
I might buy a piece of property or so.
Retired, but willing to negotiate. How about that?
Well, I deal in real estate projects, yeah. And I'll do that forever, as long as I can.
Yeah. Okay. What about hobbies?
Hobbies?
Yes.
Well, I did oil paintings, and I don't do that anymore. I quit that. You talking about something I do now? I read a lot, and I do still like the river, and I visit the points of interest. We spend a lot of time doing that in this area, and
Get that over there.
my grandkids, they're kind of my hobbies, really.
Oh. Do some she brought on that enough time to read all this first
Okay.
part.
Any pet peeves?
Nothing about ours until
Pet peeves?
Not really. I don't have
Okay,
it.
okay.
Since we got a Democrat elected, I got no complaints.
No, I get
You sound worse than Homer. I never will forget Homer telling he was voting for McGovern. He was about as liberal as,
Yeah, he was.
as
Oh,
I'm talking about Homer. I couldn't believe Homer was that liberal.
I'm happy with these boys in there now.
Okay. All right. Give us a one-word description of yourself.
One word description.
So what?
I guess now would be fat. if I'd say that over the years, I would say happy.
Happy.
I
Okay.
have never seen many bad days in my life. Never. I never have.
Okay.
Mischief?
Can you tell us your favorite memory or something that you fondly remember about Grandma?
Easy going, cooking all the time.
Now you did yours.
Well,
I didn't do it.
I'd say Grandma's biscuits. That'd probably be
No, Grandma's biscuits, Mama's biscuits.
Mama's biscuits.
Grandma to
You don't have to do
us.
that in one word now.
Pardon?
You don't have to do that in one word.
Well,
Okay.
we're cooking, but the thing I remembered most was those big square pans of biscuits that she'd make. One of those pans held whole 48, if I remember right.
How about her vinegar rolls?
Pardon?
Her vinegar rolls? Do you remember those vinegar rolls she used to make?
Yeah, and I remember those chocolate rolls that she brought. That was
Tea
well,
cakes.
the fried chocolate rolls was about one of them. I could trade them for the most important deal on the school yard. I wouldn't, but I could have. The kids is willing.
Fried chocolate roll.
Fried chocolate.
Okay. Now what about Grandpa?
That he did something that he did. Well,
Now that's
take-
not what, I mean, the rest of us, I think what will you ask us is what is your remembering, how do you remember her, not what certain
okay.
things
Well,
that-
some
Okay.
people gave certain things, and some people gave.
what I remember most about Dad, it was his sense of humor.
Okay.
Sometimes you didn't even really realize he had a sense of humor, but let me give you an example. I asked him one time, I said, why are those stumps on those cypress trees? And I could see his eyes sparkle a little bit, and he said, well, they just climbed up there and sawed those off. We climbed the ladder and sawed those off. But I said, why did they saw them stumps at 10 feet high and out there in the fields where we were clearing land? he said, you really can't figure out why them stumps are 10 feet high? I had no more idea than a pig. I just didn't have any idea. But he was getting a kick out of it. But he finally told me later in the day, or maybe the next day, he said he pulled up to that tree in a boat. And he saw the tree off in the boat, 10 feet. Now, of course, there was about 8 foot of water there, or 9, something, 6 or whatever. But he was that way about a lot of things. He got a big kick out of seeing somebody frustrated, just like I couldn't figure out my damn stuff. And not only that, but several things I can remember that he couldn't imagine. I couldn't figure out why that damn stump was that high. Why they cut him out. I thought he was trying to get away with a cypress tree, got a big old butt on it. Maybe that's it, but it's 4 feet above the butt. But they cut him in a boat because it was in a swamp. That was. It was just not just that thing, but just many things. Headquarters, he really had quite a sense of humor.
Okay.
And he did that rabbit dance that we don't even have a picture, and I don't think anybody in the family can do it.
Bear dance.
Describe
Let's see,
rabbit.
go
Rabbit
rabbit.
dance. Rabbit dance.
Rabbit dance
Yeah,
is down like.
Did you ever see him do the rabbit dance? You got down your hands and your feet right on the
Let
floor.
her get down there and show you, Ken.
Somehow he would move his feet and hit his seat at the same time. Well, I couldn't begin
Why,
to do it.
he's up in his 60s and he could still do
Yeah,
that.
he was down like this.
Did you ever see him do that?
Danced his feet and hit his hands. He'd get rear off the floor.
And now he turn over on his knees and do the rabbit dance. You didn't?
He could do that.
Oh.
I guess he was 70 and he was still doing
He would get on his knees and do his hands, and he'd call out a rabbit dance. He'd jump with his back feet and then he'd hit one in the...
He'd slap his rear end never
Finally,
touched the floor.
someone flipped the floor and
Rhythm.
kicked
He'd
the
have a
floor
rhythm to it.
and kept. It's just, almost like a
Tap
dance
dancing,
step.
kind of like kids at tap dance.
They could do it to music.
I don't think anybody
Okay.
can do it.
Okay, then just kind of give us your history, like, where you grew up and where you went to school and when you got married and where you worked and stuff like that.
Well, you got one of where I was born. And the most memorable years I had was probably down at just on the mile south of Portville on 61 Highway. When I lived there, that was our formative years. My best buddy was Billy Boone, who lived across the street and across the highway. And
That's where all the 30 kids ganged up all the time.
some people had sad times in their life, but I can't remember we had any sad times. We was always happy. Or
And no hard times. That's
if we,
what I
well,
used
if we
to tell
had any
people.
hard times, we didn't recognize it. We didn't know anything else.
People,
There wasn't any money.
what president was it? It was Hoover time. And I hear people talk about that. I said, wasn't on no relief. We didn't know nothing about none of that.
Wasn't there at least that I know of back there.
In Hoover's time,
Oh, I guess there was.
at the time me and Thomas got married,
Okay,
they had,
so
like commodities
I got
now,
married
they
when I
had
was
relief
senior in
then.
high school. Like 2
But we
weeks
didn't know
behind
nothing about it.
Where'd you go to high school?
Campbell.
Oh, I meant to ask you too. Was Ursula valedictorian in his class?
Homer saluted him. Homer would have been a valedictorian, but he worked on a leg in flood times up there in 37. Ursula was valedictorian.
He did.
Don't ask me anything about that. See, I never worried about high grades. I was always trying to make a C. And I had a little extra time.
Do you think you
I'd
could
spend that in recreation instead of studying.
do one?
I had a lot of good times.
Okay. Married
Well,
2
A
weeks
time or two,
before.
and when I was in high school,
I did one. And she had
I don't know,
you had that
highway,
with you,
buddy
don't
of
you?
mine, we'd hitchhike just as far as we could go till noon.
Well, I
Walk
did
across
one
the road, start
also.
hitchhiking back that afternoon.
Let him
We
do
didn't go
what
any
he
place,
wanted.
we just hitchhiked. Just Bob had that. Of course, then you couldn't do that anymore, you'd all be killed. That's
Yeah.
But the old days, used to. We'd hitchhike as far south as we could go till noon, and then we'd start hitchhiking back. Sometimes we'd show up a little bit late that
That's
night.
what I say. I wonder. No,
But
Could you
the
do one of
truth
those
is, we
for
never
Homer?
had any.
He actually
I
wrote
can't
the story
remember
about
any bad
himself.
times.
It was
I don't
his.
tell you either.
It was his war, and Ursula didn't come in.
I went in
that
the
would
Army
be all of
shortly
it.
after
You
got
do
out
one
of high
for
school.
Homer and you do one for us.
My son
I
was
don't
almost 2
remember
years old
anything
when I
from
got
all
back from service. And I went directly into school, 1 year at Cape Girardeau, and then we had to transfer because of the 1950. Took a job managing a gin at Matthews, Missouri. And at the end of 5 months, I got a $2,000 bonus for Christmas. That's the most money I ever saw. Didn't know there was that much money in the world. That really was an impression on me. That money. And the people that gave me that bonus.
Darn. And I thought I had a good deal. That was probably about $20,000 in today's dollars.
I'll tell you what we did. We paid the down payment for the farm.
That wouldn't make a down payment on a car these days.
That's
One of my
right,
friends had a son that got out of the army
Well,
about
we paid
the time.
$16,000
Is
for
he
the farm,
recording voice?
and that we had 20% or so.
I
paid
think
in.
it's pictures. I think Archie Kent.
We bought them. It's got a bonus. You know, paid that.
Yeah.
And then from that on, when we were in school in Columbia, we bought a house. We couldn't find a decent place to rent, so we bought it.
Yeah.
Kept that dude for 3 years, and sold it enough, and we left there. And enough money to buy
What'd
a car.
What'd you major in?
Vocational agriculture, vocational agriculture education.
You taught for several years. Did you get that in?
You said he
We taught,
managed a gin after he got out of college.
well, 4 years, but then I went to teaching. And then I taught for about, altogether I taught about 18 years. And I taught a little 4 years for junior college. Most of them from high school. Down at Matthews. Then I taught for 3 years junior college. My classes were here in Van Buren, in the high school building. But my classes were at night, and I had a real estate business.
Well, I was talking about how
Okay. Now, when did you move from Matthews?
From it, away from, or to,
From.
1970.
Can't even make a movie.
When I moved to Dexter, I built a house in Dexter, over there, 1971. 1973, we moved to Van Buren.
I remember Larry told me I went to some places and he gave me a copy.
I taught school and been a real estate business.
I went to believe it. I never did get it. So,
I taught in
they
college.
feel
the
free to
people
use
like
any of it she wants to. And I think Larry's gone. Trying to get it into a book form, wasn't it? I don't know if he did or not, but
And we had, during
I'll
that time,
check
we had
with
3
you
children.
what
They
she
were
had.
I gave
Well,
when he came
girls.
over one day and told him.
Where was Larry born?
Larry was born in off in service. He
And I went over and
was Helen's mom, dad.
I didn't know it.
He was born in Poplar Bluff. That's where they were living, Poplar Bluff. At,
I think it was long.
the old Poplar Bluff
That's
Hospital.
good.
It's not there.
She had Ursula's football. There was a lot of stuff in it. And I went through it.
He was born in
Oh,
I'm
1944.
sure
Larry
she's
was
still,
dying.
I'm sure she still got it.
And
Okay.
Sandy was born in Matthews in 1951. Linda was born in Matthews in 1957.
Okay. Anything else?
after Ursula was killed, then the story goes on and tells the rest of the story.
One word description of
Just,
children.
you know, a few
Well,
pages of
No, we didn't have, no, nobody else did. We'll get to his kids one of these days. Anything else?
That pretty much sums it up. I've been retired since,
Well, he did too.
no, 84 something. I've been retired from teaching. I closed my real estate office in 1990, I believe it was.
I was going to say, I thought you had your real estate office. Okay. Now, can you tell us enough to do one on Homer, you think?
Well, before you get to home, let's look through that one on Ursula. There was some dates in there that I thought you might give us. We weren't sure about. Zip wrote that one last night on Ursula. But there was some dates in there, like the year he was killed, the date he was killed, and the date he went into service. Do you know when he went into service?
I can tell you the year that he went in. But,
Well, she said it was in January, February. Because he came home from school. She said he was in his sophomore year at Tate, but he came home in May, thinking he'd get called. But she said he didn't get his call until after the first of the year, but she didn't know what year.
It was the
following years, but I don't know, remember. He came home, you know, and they told him not to start another semester because he'd never finish it before they called him. Then he was there the rest of all that summer and all till after.
I think that's the first one I think you painted. That's pretty. And that's the first picture you painted over there.
I don't know, that's pretty much the last one.
This one's the first one. No. That, I think
You
that's
still
the
got my
biggest
picture?
one you ever painted.
I'm still gonna get your picture framed. Yeah, I just told Nancy tonight, maybe after Christmas here, I have to get into that.
Well, she needs to.
Did you say you painted that?
Yeah, that's
He was on his third mission, bombing mission. They might have known that. His plane was shot down over Slovakia.
Then that one was there.
13th mission?
He was flying out of Italy. His plane was a B-24.
Yeah, that they had. B-24, stationed in Italy. That tells where he was stationed too. Do you remember the name of the town? No. We need to look that up. And that town, that Belusa, where they said he was shot down over that town Belusa. Nancy said that when they were in Switzerland, Jan and Teddy's neighbors had a map of Czechoslovakia, and that town was on the map. They found the town, and they were going to go down there, and Mitch didn't have his passport.
Okay. We don't have the year he graduated from high school either.
I was gonna ask, tell you about the picture I had. Picture you gave me. You brought that picture.
Oh,
I
that's
was
the
gonna
story
ask him
Bob
if he
told
knew
me.
that.
Mexico
I forgot.
was all
The
the war
picture.
with him.
Yeah, when would he have graduated from high school?
I think it would
Put
have
him
been
over
4
his
years.
shoulder and carry him with bullets flying all around him.
Second
And they
sport.
get in a
And he was
foxtrot.
valedictorian.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and then you already got that.
If he went in service in 42,
And that's he got
did
out
he
of
finish his
Stockholm,
sophomore year of college?
They went into the next town that the Germans.
Says he
had shot
came home in
all
May.
up and
Says he joined the ROTC
down,
while a
all the way
sophomore, and he
through
came
with
home in
Bobby
May.
So if he
Bessie.
finished
She
his
went
sophomore
down the
year
street
and he went in in
and spied.
42,
The
then
tree
he
shot
had
him.
graduated from high school in 39, wouldn't
I like that. He's not the only tell it.
he? He been in college in 40 and 41.
No, he and I were
He
in high
told,
school.
he told me.
I was a freshman when he was a senior. I was a freshman in '39.
Didn't want to tell us the
That when
story
he would have
Bob
graduated in
had.
4.
It was a good story.
Okay.
He was a senior when he was a freshman.
I got my foot
Okay,
on
then
that.
maybe if he went to Cape then,
He went had 2 years. He was sophomore.
that'd make 41,
His
42, so he
sophomore
didn't go
year
into service
was
then until 43. That may be right.
See, he took
Because
the
he wasn't in
ROTC
wrong.
up there.
That's probably right.
Buddy was born in 41. That's when that year Ursula got killed. No,
He got
43.
He got killed in 44.
Huh?
He got killed in July of 44.
Was sent home and
What did you mean
We
you
got
didn't know when he
somebody
got
had
killed?
Buddy was born in
I don't
41 and I got
Didn't know when
I
he
just
went
didn't
in.
got
Somebody had already
It
given
must have been
Debbie
January
July
of
the 7th.
We got that
43.
off of his stone out at the cemetery.
Oh.
So that was when he was sent home.
No, he was sent home 48.
48.
Okay, I don't think we got that.
He was killed in 44. I was down in Capitol in Arkansas when he was killed.
I
Well,
didn't
I thought
remember
you were
when
still
he
at home
was.
at Mom's, up on the hill.
I was,
You just come there that you was there when we was there after he got killed.
I was there when they got the news.
I well remember you out under an old wagon. I don't know whether you remember or not, but
You know, they
he
wrote
was out there
to
holding that wagon and he was crying so hard and telling me that he was going and get the one that got Ursula. And I said, Bob, you can't
Well, I
do
went over to see
But he just real upset. But I thought, if Buddy was a baby, I thought, but he must have been
You
2
were in the
years
Army.
old, because he's born 41. I guess he was about 3 then.
In 44.
Yes.
Weren't you in on the crossing of the Rhine or some such?
I crossed the Ruhr and I got to the Rhine. We was fixing to cross when I got hit the second time. We was fixing to cross the Rhine River. But I made the crossing into the Ruhr. As a matter of fact, the night we crossed the Ruhr River, of course, I didn't know who Howard K. Smith was. But he was there and he was and he wrote the story later. I got to read that about that crossing. My company crossed. We was the first company open, and we crossed in Wood and Salt. So that's the date, the time that you don't forget. We crossed the river, and we made it on to the right, and we left from a town called Craigville. Started out that morning to cross the river, make the right cross when I got hit, and then I never did get back to the time I got out of the hospital that time. It was pretty much over. I never would call me.
You got shot?
I got hit that time. I got shot at 44. I got hit that time with concussion, and I still got a mark or two where because I got hit a little bit. I got a mark in my leg, the side of my leg where I got hit the first time.
Didn't you tell
I
us,
assume that was a bullet. I think that's what hit me.
Bob, didn't you tell us when you started across this Rhine River there were 200 of you? When you got on the other side, it was only 9?
That was LaRue River.
And what hit you the second time?
Well, I just got hit with a concussion from a shell. I don't know if they shell.
Shackles?
Yeah,
Was it called?
there was 2 or 3 in my platoon was in the ambulance together when they got us back to the field hospital. They took us out. There were 2 or 3 of us.
You remember telling us about this little Mexican?
See what?
My kids got a bang out, and you telling about this little Mexican that went with you all through the war. And you carried him, you cut his hand, and you tied up, and then you carried him back. Did you just make that up?
No, no.
Well, I know
Well-
they got a bang out. You telling that?
Well, no.
And he got killed though at the last where he went into a town where it'd been bombed, but it was a sniper up in a tree. When you first come home, you told them, and they still remember it.
My company commander was a Mexican. His name was Charles Lozano. We called him Pancho Lozano.
Yeah, I
When I
remember
got to the front line, they had just got there. I mean, I went in as a replacement into that division. They hadn't gone into combat yet. But I went down, my first impression was of an officer, Army officer, was clean, neat, trim, looked like him. And I went down there that night. They took us that way. You had to move at night. You couldn't move at daytime. You get shot. We went up there at night. They took 2 of us into the C Company as replacements. Myself and a guy named Butts. And we went down into a basement. And I remember Lozano had a canteen cup, which wasn't too unusual. Later on, we got to doing that. He punched a hole in the shoulder, kind of would have been the shoulder of that cup. And struck a match over that, and the fumes of that burning. But there was no wick, there was nothing. If you'd have turned it over, there would have been a quart of gasoline fire. And he was cooking. He was cooking over that flame. And he was dirty and greasy. What the hell is this Army coming to? And this is the company command. Of course, they didn't wear their rank numbers, because the higher that rank was, the higher them guys over there trying to kill them. But that was my company command. But anyway, what happened, old Butts now, he turned around and talked to us a little bit over his shoulder, and he said, you boys have fired weapons? That's like mortars and machine guns. Yeah? Which one? I said, both. I fired both. He said, you fired a 60 millimeter mortar? Yeah. I said, okay, I want you to... We both had answered yes when he asked us if we fired weapons. And he said to Butts, he said, you'll be in the machine gun section. Well, nobody wants to be a machine gunner. They don't live
That's
long.
one time you wish you just stood there and don't say nothing, huh?
Well, I said mortar, and he wound up. But then when he went back, we got back outside, going back over to our platoon. He said the captain said for me to go in the mortars. I said, you lying like hell. I'm in the mortars. He was a machine gun. That's what machine gun. You don't want to be in the mortars. You can get down behind something and fire out over. In a machine gun, you've got to get up here where you see them, they can see you. And everybody likes to knock out a machine gun because that's the trouble with it. So Butts drew that duty, and Butts didn't last too long. The life of a machine gunner was like a mosquito 4 days once they got into
And one of the kids got a bang out. You telling about this fountain pen, and you was trying to write a letter, and you dived down in the basement and took time to put the top of his.
We got hit there. We got hit pretty hard there that day. We were sitting on a bench, and we started with this. My buddy and I. We had our guns set up just outside course, the window there was broken. There was no glass or anything. Everything's been knocked out. But we had a gun set up just outside that kitchen window. And we didn't have to go through the door. We just jump out that window and start the fire when he yelled for us. And we're sitting on this bench on the side of the table, but we was playing Chinese checkers. That's what we was doing. I had a letter over here I was writing, but we was playing checkers, and I don't know if she had sent us a little checkerboard to fold up, you know, and the checkers is about as big as it. But we're sitting here, we heard the shell coming, and it's one of them dudes that you could hear it before it got there. But it went on over. In a few minutes, we heard another. We was right on the edge of town. There was one building beyond us, a big brick building, and we was a tall brick building. We was the second building on the edge of town. And I heard the third one. No, it was on the second one. I said, I can't concentrate on this damn game, and shells coming. So let's quit till they quit throwing that stuff in. But anyway, we didn't quit right then. We was going to move.
Till one hit.
We heard the next one coming, and that dude hit that house we was in. And of course, the stairways have been in the basements where we should have been all the time, but it's dark down in there, and couldn't get any air. We sitting up here with this window. We started down that staircase. I just made it down when I shell hit that house right there. And when the dust and everything settled, I said, the sky, that was a three-story building. We was looking right at the sky. But that was, I know.
But you took time to tighten your pin down.
Well, what happened, the boys in the next room to us, see, we was all pretty much, the guys in that fourth platoon was pretty much in and around that building. There was five in that next room, and one of those masons hit the gutter. See, that concussion kind of went over and down into that room where they were. We had to go over and dig them out, but you wasn't like five. I don't like to get started on war stories.
Oh, I told Tina, I can tell, but the kids really like that story. Rob took time to tighten the top on his pin with that same color.
Well, yeah, you did silly things, you know, like that sometimes. You would, and then later you'd think, why was I doing that? Man, you gotta get his head shot off out there. But anyway, that's just the way war was. I got a combat infantry badge and a Purple Heart. I got some other little awards, but that was the two that I got that they're around here someplace.
Now, what do you get a combat infantry badge for? Just for being in combat?
Being in infantry combat. And after you was up there for a while, they give you this award, and that was awarded everybody wanted. Everybody liked that award. It's a wreath with a rifle, and that was awarded everybody was proud of. But I told them the other day, I said, the stigma with that award, we like that award. Everybody wanted it. But then you get a notice. Well, when you got that, they increase your pay $10 a month. But to me, they're saying, hey, you get that, then we're going to give you $10 a month. If you sit out there and let them shoot at you every day and live in a foxhole, we're going to pay you $10 a month. Well, that took away the good feeling about that medal to me. Because what they're saying is, you're getting paid for it. $10 a month, they set you out there and let them shoot at you. I didn't ever like it. I liked that medal, and I was glad I got it. But I didn't like that. I didn't like paying $10 a month for doing it. I would have sit out there for $500 a month. I don't know what amount of money. But you just didn't ask you that.
Okay. Can we do one on Homer?
Oh, okay.
All right. We got his birth date in here, I guess. Do you remember where he was born? Was he born in Point Pleasant?
Well, he was born down there at Point. His birthday was September the 6th.
Sorry.
Homer's.
Were you?
In 19 and 18, I guess.
All right.
Okay.
So that's Homer Lee, wasn't it?
Homer Lee.
And what were his hobbies?
Oh, I don't see offhand. I don't remember. He played football in high school, but he never was much of a hobby man.
I think that's off balance, Ken. It looks crooked from here.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't turn right. It's not quite like that. I don't remember that.
Oh no, I don't either. He was quite turned, kind of like Ursula, more than any of the other kids. He went to
one time.
No,
college. He went to college
I
6
don't know if
months
it was me,
with
you,
that
Well, he
mom.
went to a business school, yeah, business college. Do what?
was it me
Still-
and you, or me and Joe, or maybe all three of us that had these watermelons? We went down and field and picked these watermelons and put them in a tub of cold water. And some girls brought home or homes. I was when I was in high school in Porterville. And I can't remember, I haven't got any idea about moved then, but anyway. Boy, we was mad and far. We had about 3 watermelons.
Oh, he gave it to the girl.
And he gave them to the girls, and one of the girls says, "Oh, Homer, you're the sweetest thing."
Yeah.
You remember
That
that?
was kind of his hobby, because it's kind of like girls.
Girls, yeah.
Yeah.
We teased him when he come in the house, you know, we said, "Oh, Homer, you're the sweetest thing."
Oh,
Just
yeah,
make him dramatic about it.
They done gave away her watermelon.
Okay, what about, did he have any pet peeves?
He was the next one to me, and I can't remember nothing.
Oh, I don't remember.
What did I say Ursula's was? I know I had Ursula's.
Damaging a book. Anybody damaging a book?
Yeah. You know how he,
Oh,
oh
man.
boy, he get
Yeah,
mad and
yeah,
fall.
he would. He'd get on your case for that.
Anybody that.
But Homer didn't have any.
kinda
Well, I don't recall.
Back talk
you
to
know,
Mom.
I don't know
Homer
for
didn't,
sure.
boy, he didn't like none of the kids to give Mama no sass, and he would crawl us right quick. So I don't know how you'd word that now, but he really didn't want a kid to sass Mama or nothing. He was really a.
Yeah, I think that's true. But I don't remember that.
Okay. Now, what do you think he would think about a memory of Grandma?
What would he recall?
Yeah.
I'd say he probably recalled that she insisted on him going to school. She was really sold on. I think she'd like to see him going to medical school, but I guess he neither really much finds a chance.
Where did he go to college? Memphis. With
Somebody said
Stone-
Dallasburg, but
Donald
I
High.
Memphis Tennessee was the name of that school.
Y'all are getting ahead of the story now.
Ursula.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What do you
The
think?
first one to graduate from high school. She wanted all of the kids to go through high school with you and I.
And
So
Homer.
I don't know. Homer was the first one to finish.
She was
Kids
real.
to finish high school.
When she was real bad sick, I remember one night me and Thomas went up there and she was singing, and she was playing Homer with her number 1 boy. Her number
Well,
1
I
boy
think
is in the Army now.
so.
Right after they took him to the Army.
Maybe a little. She
Oh.
thought Homer was really.
Well, he helped her with Bill through college.
I guess she after all anything would have been.
Well, I was. He wasn't a bad fella, but he was a little hard to manage to keep on his. He wanted to do what he wanted to do, and pretty much did. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
he'd leave home to get
Okay.
his way. If you're talking about Ari.
Okay.
And what do you think about Homer would have remembered about Grandpa?
Well, it's a little bit hard for me to answer that. You know, I just really don't know if I could give a fair answer to that.
I think he'd think he was about the best dad in the world. He thought his mother and daddy
Oh,
both.
I'm sure he would. Yes. One of the things that another thing that about the fire stuff. Another thing I went with him out in the boat. He had these trot lines out down there on the boat, and we went out. I thought to run the trot. We was baiting them out, and here's the damn trot lines is out of the water about this high. Now look at how we gonna catch any fish with the trot lines up out of the water. The hooks wasn't even touching the water this time. And we're baiting up these lines. He got the biggest kick out of me not knowing what he had done a few days before. He tied that line up to let it dry. You know, we used it. Then lines then was caught. And they would rock if they stayed wet over. So he tied it up out of the water.
So So the string wouldn't
So
rot
they
it,
dry.
yeah.
So they dry. And then when he got ready to use them again, he bait them up and then let them down the boat. But I'm talking to him about, no wonder we didn't catch any fish here, but how much kick he gave them. He wouldn't answer me. He wouldn't tell me why he hung them things up there. He just let me worry about it.
That's right with him.
Finally, he
Sounds
said,
a little bit like us.
he said, you can't figure out why them let. No, I don't know why. It looks like to me it's pretty dumb. We're going to put them back in the water directly, but he's had them up there dry. Let them dry. But it just, that's the things that I remember about him. How much fun he got out of playing a prank on somebody. Just teased him a little bit.
Making you figure it out.
But the thing that I guess my best memory would be how much he liked to play pitch. I think he'd rather play pitch as to anything.
His dad?
He liked to listen to the ball games on the radio. When he'd fuss at them ball games, he'd get so aggravated and upset. Sometimes he'd get mad and get up there and if a game wasn't going to suit him, he'd love to get up and turn it off because every time Stan Musial come up to bat, he'd want to knock the ball away. And Stan couldn't do it. Stan Musial has probably the best record of any player that
I'm
ever
just
had.
glad because he had to watch those darn ball games no matter what. He's going to watch that ball game.
Oh, he was. He loved it.
But
And
I
he
don't know
couldn't figure
why
out
Mom
any of
would
us
call
played
him
football.
her
You
number
know, we
one
was
boy
playing
because
football, and he
every
was-
time she asked him for any money for Bill, he'd hand it.
I never,
And that's what she really, you know,
I
she
never
knew
knew
she could
Homer
depend
played
on him.
football.
They fought.
I didn't know Homer played football.
He did in high school. He did son. We all did.
You did too?
Oh yeah, I got a nice uniform picture.
Did Ursula play football?
Yes, son.
They got Ursula's picture in the Purgeville schoolhouse. I heard my kids
Well,
talk
you
about seeing
That'd
it.
be very big if there
One
wasn't
that
many.
you played half a quarter, maybe, when you knocked out.
Well, that's the story they tell on me. Yeah, Hezzy Davis used to got to be. Hezzy Davis is dead now, but he and I was on that
He
team.
got hit in the head with.
Yeah, Leroy.
And you can do
he's
that. You fought, I don't know how long, but girl, Tammy and I had that accident. She didn't. I said, Tammy, are you all right? Because I went through the windshield and I had glass all in my head and was bleeding. And I said, Tammy, are you all
We're trying
right?
to figure out what Homer would have remembered
Oh,
about
that's
Grandpa.
gonna be a little bit hard for me to say,
And
but see, I
finally
think
she
about
got
this
out, somebody, the
I
ambulance
did,
got
I
there
did, but
and they got
yeah.
her out. She just walked around.
You know,
I
he
didn't think
enjoyed
she was
his
hurt at
kids.
all.
He enjoyed it.
Tammy, Mark's wife.
My dad didn't worry.
We had an
Yeah, he
accident.
had he
This
had
last time they
he
had
had
her
to
in?
go to 4th of July barbecue
you know-
in Portageville.
We got
He'd
we was
have
in the
more fun.
ambulance. She said,
And he
what's
was
wrong
always,
with your head?
he played a little prank on you, you know.
We're going.
Like the time he
We're
put
going back. We're going to
corn
Herbert.
cob on
They
the
called
horse.
her
See, he wasn't doing that to get anybody.
Charlotte, and they were at the
Yeah.
city
He just
hall.
knew that I knew what that horse was going to
We
do.
go
He
to
was
the
gonna
city
get
hall
tripped
and
up,
pick
they
them
did.
up. You
Yeah.
know, to the hospital.
Okay, can you think of a one-word description that would
And,
fit Homer?
So the way they,
Oh, when he was a
I
young
didn't
man,
know
I'd
that's
say
what they
girl.
were doing when they was talking to me. But they asked you your name, your birthday.
I had
you
kind
think,
of, so she mentioned
well,
about
this
the
just
watermelon.
get it
Okay.
taken
That's
out.
what
Like,
he
why
did,
don't
man.
take
He
it
was.
take
He
it
liked
on
the
to the
girls, and the girls
hospital?
liked
You
him
know.
too.
But they were what they were doing. They were when they got to.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
told them. You know.
Do we know,
I
Bob?
wasn't out,
Can we
I told them.
can we get Homer's
You was
kind
in
of
the wreck
history
with
of what his
With
life
Tammy,
was?
yeah,
Where
she
did,
was
where did he
driving.
go to high? Where did he graduate from
And,
high school?
Portageville.
Yeah, and most of them, when I hit the
And when did he
windshield,
get
I knocked
married?
my glasses off,
When?
and I couldn't
When
see,
did he
and I was.
And when did he
we couldn't
graduate?
find them.
He was
And
sleeping.
some
He
boy was
graduated
standing there saying,
30.
Miss Fryer, don't get out, don't get out.
Seven.
The ambulance is on the way.
Yeah, he did.
And I didn't know why,
Graduated
but Tammy was sitting there just looking around like she
Okay.
felt like, you know.
Second in his
I
class.
said,
And
well,
when did he
all
get
right, we
married?
don't need an ambulance, I can't
37. He
find
got
my
married
glasses.
about
So what had happened when I went up forward,
42,
my glasses
43.
fell off and I was sitting on them. So
42,
when the
43.
ambulance got there and I started to get
It'd
out,
been
I
42.
drug my glasses
Okay.
out. They weren't broken.
Did you say he would have been first, but he worked on the.
But you know, she didn't realize that she was knocked
Okay.
out and we
And he-
was
and he missed
halfway
2 or
to top
3
the
weeks of
bluff
school.
when she said,
during that time.
what
See,
happened
they were working
anyway?
day and night.
Who said
In January.
I
he
said,
missed
we
a
had a
couple
wreck,
weeks of school.
Tammy. And she said, who? And I said, me and you. And she said,
And there
who
was
was
two, there
driving?
was two
And we
We
were
needed that
almost
to
above the bluff, and Ann was so
And
she
that-
was
that
out
work need to be done.
She was
for a
driving.
good 15 or 20 minutes.
She was driving.
Okay,
She
what
was
about, then he went to
And
this
somebody
business
hit
school,
it.
did
Yeah,
he
he
do
went
that?
Drawn.
You didn't know she was knocked
No,
out?
I believe
I
that's
didn't
You thought she was alright.
She's
UGA.
out there walking around like she's all right.
Drawn's business school in Memphis.
But when we got downtown,
And probably
Hey,
finished
I
over there. What
thought
year did we
I
get him?
was
Graduated
close.
37. He went to school. He probably went to work in 39 at Allen Davis Cotton Company in Matthews. And I remember he started out making $100 a week. I thought that was the most money I ever heard.
Jackson Davis.
It was what I'd been a month.
Did he go to college 2 years?
Uh-oh.
I don't think he went to 4 years.
I think he just went 6 months
Name your
with, with
pen.
Stoll Hobbs down Memphis.
Kent, you got a pen?
That's all I remember.
Went to
Oh,
work at
that'd be
49, he had to go.
Right there, Kent and I talked to there'll be one.
That's out of here.
I ain't, it must have been a demo pen.
Did you put the new thing
No,
in?
no. That's in my briefcase though.
See one, Kent? Yeah, there's those books.
Okay. Okay, and he made $100 a week?
Wait a minute now. Well, it might have been a month.
Might a month.
Yeah, that's a
I
month.
bet.
That's a month. I still thought that was the most money I'd ever heard of. So I was making 10 cents an hour down there where I worked.
that's what I made a month when I started teaching. Second year I taught them made 150, 125. Third year I taught them made 150 a month. That was only for 8 months out of the
That
year.
was several
You have to
years
go to
later.
school.
Okay. Then,
I believe he was making $100 a month. I said a week, but I don't
okay,
believe
then what else? What else do we need to put in?
about his work. Well, he worked there for a couple of years before he met and married Cecil. She was teaching school down in Kewanee. He was working in Matthews. She was teaching school down in Kewanee. He met her, so they married probably about 42 or 43.
Well,
Okay.
how much bonus did he get every year? I remember Mom was always so proud of Mr. Jackson
Well-
giving him a bonus.
I
can't
remember.
remember.
Might have got 3,000.
My-
When I got 2,000. I think he did. He might have got 3,000. But sometimes we get those twice a year. I did that first year.
Yeah, I remember Mama
12
was
months.
always so
I got
glad
one
of
at
him.
Christmas. I got one.
Well, back in those times, dig up $5,000. That was a lot of money, but he wouldn't let me spend it.
I thought that
But you know,
Okay.
those were good
I
men.
thought,
Those men were good men. Jackson Davis.
you had got told that you talk about
In land.
Mr. Allen was filthy rich. He owned 20,000 acres of Sykes rich land that he inherited. So money wasn't any, but he was still tight. He was conservative. He was close to his money. But Mr. Davis is one that gave us his money. Mr. Davis run the business. He managed the business, and
Kent, could I get you some hot chocolate?
I think Homer would get 3,000 when I was getting 2,000.
Okay.
Because see, he was the general manager. He'd been there years.
Do you
when I
like
was down there
cider?
at work.
Okay.
I
And he got
can
the-
give you
I
hot
think-
cider or
So
hot
he stayed
chocolate.
there for several years.
I'd like the hot cider.
He
Oh,
worked
he
there
stayed.
for-
He
It's
stayed
really
there
good.
till.
Yeah,
Anybody else want a cup of hot cider?
that sounds very
I guess
Oh.
that was probably the last job he ever had until he
Well,
sold
I
his farm and went to Memphis and bought those
I have
apartments.
to heat the water
And then he
first.
worked with Delta
Okay.
Auction Company. I think he stayed right there
Until,
Allen Davis till he went to Memphis, and that would have been early '60s.
When y'all-
63 or 4, I think.
When y'all split
No,
up up
it
there,
was after
Matthew,
that.
did Homer move to Illinois, Bob, or he just had,
No.
he just had some land over there farming?
Yeah, we
No.
had some land.
it wasn't that early on, because I remember going to their house
Now,
in
Kent,
Sykeston
this won't impress you.
when
But
I
it
was
doesn't have any
7 or 8
sugar
years old,
caffeine.
maybe.
It's really
What year
good.
would
The
that
cider.
be?
Like 67, 66, 67.
I thought it has this
When they
NutraSweet
moved to
in it.
Memphis.
I
Do you
can
remember
get
when
it
that
with
was?
sugar, but I've got the
I would
NutraSweet
say
with no
about the
caffeine.
time.
good. Yeah, I tried.
Carolyn
tried
was,
to
I believe
drink
Carolyn was a senior in high school
tried.
and she stayed with Miss Williams.
That
Keeps me awake at night.
Anybody can tell when she was a
I
senior.
don't know when she was born. I can't remember either.
See.
Oh, no, it's fast. You remember Carolyn was a senior?
I don't remember.
She didn't tell me when she graduated.
Do you remember when Marcia died? Anybody? You remember the year Marcia died?
We were living in that house in Dexter that we rented.
I know they had moved to Memphis about 2
I
years
remember
before she
when you
died.
called me. You told me, you said, Helen, are you somewhere where you can sit down? actually I'm sitting here on the side of the bed after the phone, and you
Was
told
it
me.
a rented house? So that would have been in 1971.
And bought
Yeah.
apartments.
He bought some apartments in Memphis. He sold the land. He sold his farm. He had a farm there at Matthews, and we had a farm in Illinois, but we had traded out. I traded my part in Illinois for his part in Matthews, so he had a farm in Illinois. A big
What's all
farm.
this stuff back before, after the war, didn't it?
See what?
I thought you said it's in 32, though. And 31, when was it?
71.
He bought the farm in Illinois. Let's see. It would have been in the late 50s, I think. He bought that farm in there.
I
We
guess.
kept it together for a while, and then we traded out. I traded my half in Illinois.
And I thought he moved to Illinois, but he
No,
didn't.
no,
No,
no.
he just had the farm.
No, he had the farm, and he sold the farm.
But I don't know what year it was. I don't.
Well, Debbie's probably right there. She thinks it was at least 67, 68.
I think it would have to be because I can remember I had to have been 6 or 7 years old being at their house. I can remember
That
being
would
at
have been, you were born in 60.
well, December of '59. So that would have been 66 or 67. And they might have sold it not too long after that.
Yeah, it wasn't long after that.
Maybe around.
We
Maybe
bought
around
he bought a farm over here in 1968. Helen and I did.
Oh,
Out there
it might be
60
that.
Highway. So it's long about that
Oh,
time.
he liked
Okay.
it. He liked the book.
Okay, and he had 3 children.
Uh-huh.
Wayne, Marcia. Does anybody remember when Marcia was born? Because I got these on Wayne and Carolyn.
December 27th, but I don't know what day. I mean, I know her birthday's on December 27th.
You know how much older she was than Carolyn, or how much younger she was than Wayne Lee?
Wayne Lee was
Probably 2 or 3 years.
Marcia would have been born about 48, 47.
When we were at Matthews, she used to ride with you, and we had these
Oh, we'll
plastic
have
seat
it.
covers on that car, and she'd stand up. She's 2 or 3 years old, and she'd pee in her diaper, and those plastic seat covers would run right down the seat, and Bob would come home with wet pants.
She was a big
She's a big girl. Should have been trained.
She'd ride with me. She'd do that, didn't she?
Yeah, they were little, because I remember Carolyn crossing that railroad track with a, Cecil say she didn't have anything but a doily. She picked up, I don't know why she didn't have any clothes on, but she picked up a doily off of the end table and put it on her head and crossed that railroad track in the rain.
Well, we went to Matthews in
48, that's right. Okay.
Mom brought her home one day. She didn't have anything on. She took her panties off, too.
About Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall.
She said, hey, is this
She told an old boy there hung around at the end a lot. Marcia was about 4 years old. Maybe it might have been 5. I think she was 4. Old Burl paper. He said, "Is that your daddy?" Homer came in, went on through his office. Marcia was messing with Marcia and I was pretty good buddy. She hung around there with me like I was out in front of her. Burl, is that your daddy?
Pointed at
He
you.
said, "He's not much good, is he?" She said, "He's the only one I got." He's about 4 years old. He's the only one I got.
Okay, should we
Burl
put
laughed
in?
about that the rest of his life.
Should we put in here about him being divorced and remarried, or should we all just forget that ever happened?
Well, I'd be willing to forget it.
I'm willing to forget it.
It was a sad thing, particularly because,
Because he was married, it didn't work out. With him.
well, it didn't work out, but it was such a bad. The timing couldn't have been worse. And Cecil's death, and that was just one.
Okay, well that ought to get us.
Let some of the researchers in the future try to dig in.
We're gonna pretend she never existed.
Yeah, she didn't really count. And see, Carolyn and Wayne, they could care less about it. They didn't even like her.
You know, the time we went up at John McAdoo's funeral at St. Louis, Homer took me and you up there. Did he tell you that him and Cecil wasn't going to make it? I mean, him and Lee.
I don't know if he did.
I know I went and sit with Lillian and Dorothy, and I'd let you and Homer kind of be together. That night when we got back to Fortiesville, he wouldn't come in, Bob. He said, "Hey, I'm not gonna go in." When he first picked me up before we got you, he said, "Man, it wouldn't take $1 million if you called me today."
I'm so full, I'm not
Because
drinking.
Lee's little girl was getting married, and he said they didn't even count me in that wedding, Alex. I'm not counting nothing on my money. And that's about all he said going up there. But when we come back, he parked in my driveway there on Brown Drive, and he said, "I'm gonna sit out here and talk to you a little while, but I'm not gonna go in because she's gonna be mad or nowhere." And anyway, but he said, "Man, I sure appreciate you calling me. I want to get away from there so bad. I wasn't even counted in it." And I said, "Well, you might as well come in." And no, let's just sit out here. And when we talked, he said, "I want to tell you, honey, I don't know whether y'all know it or not, but me and Lee ain't gonna make it." And I said, "Well, Homer, I thought she looked so much like Cecil. We all thought y'all was just gonna get along fine." No, he said, "We don't make it. I have found out she married me for her money."
Debbie, would you like some hot apple cider
No thanks, I'm fine.
or hot chocolate either?
I'm fine.
And it wasn't no time after that till he had this first heart attack or something.
Allie, you want some hot apple cider?
Well, what are they having?
Hot apple cider.
Okay, just about half glass. And I guess he talked about an hour sitting out there. Oh, and when he said she has a little girl, and when I go in, they go to the Walmart, something like Walmart or something, and they didn't count him in nothing. I said, "Well, you've always got somewhere to come. You come see me." And I said, "Besides, you got 2 kids,
You need
and Grandpa."
We need to do ours too.
I said, "Yeah, let him help me do that one, Doris, because I don't want to do it."
She
by
said
myself.
she couldn't think of anything but mean things that he ever did.
No, I don't want mischief on me.
Can you do anything on Ari? Can you do one of those just to have Ari in that too? I can't remember him. Y'all, I must have been about 7 when y'all got married.
All right, he was born at Point Pleasant too.